Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Leaders Connect, an online leadership community, episode 48, where leaders create more leaders organized by the mass leadership. My name is Aarti. I'm a model and motivational speaker. Leaders Connect is started with a specific objective of creating 1,000 plus leaders, where all the working professionals and business people share their real time challenges on our website www.themassleadership.com. We see all challenges, filter them, and every week on Wednesday, we invite top management leaders from corporate company who will be giving solutions for our real time challenges on leadership. That's when we call it as Leaders Create More Leaders. Currently, all are muted, but we will be giving you an opportunity to interact with our guest, Mr. Prashant Desai. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on Facebook and this episode is being recorded. And also for the visitors who are joining us for the first time, you can get weekly updates about our episodes and follow us by clicking the link which is given on the chat box. So, are you all ready to interact with our guest on the topic managing personal finance? Then please do type yes in the chat box below. Thank you. Before the introduction of our guest, let me take the privilege to introduce the founder of Leaders Connect, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will be interacting with our guest today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aarti, for a quick introduction about the Leaders Connect. And we welcome all the members, the visitors, as well as welcome the guest, Mr. Prashant Desai. So thank you very much, Mr. Prashant, for taking up your time and joining us here. That's really been a great honor for you. So we will be going in a step-by-step process. So first, we would like to introduce more about Prashant Desai to all our members here as well as the visitors. So I
Yes.
Aarti.
Yeah, there was a connection issue, sir.
That's okay.
Then now it's a privilege to introduce about the guest of honor for the week. Mr. Prashant Desai's spouse name is Mila Desai and her profession is remedial teacher. His daughter name is Arshia Desai and she's studying in Shrishti Manipal Institute, Bangalore. His hobbies are reading, learning, and podcast. His favorite sport is cricket, and he lives in Bombay. The LinkedIn link of Mr. Prashant Desai is on the chat box below, so please feel free to click on the link and connect with him. So now, as you all know about the personal experience of Mr. Prashant Desai, to know about his professional experience, let's watch the video.
All the members, visitors, kindly type welcome Mr. Prashant Desai on the chat box. And yes, Mr. Prashant is here for us on the specific topic, managing personal finance. With the gamut of years of experience, and I'm sure he's going to give us an insightful experience about how we actually can manage our finances. Welcome, Mr. Prashant Desai, for the Leaders Connect community.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thanks very much. It's been a real great pleasure. And for all the members, let me quickly share Mr. Prashant Desai. I was able to connect with him through LinkedIn. And as the message has been floated, it's very kind of him that he's agreed and accepted to be a part of the Leaders Connect episode as a leader. Great. So, Prashant, in fact, I'm sure I've seen most of your videos, in fact, on YouTube, and I keep following your channel as well on YouTube. One question always keeps triggering, and wonderfully you've been answering as well, which I've seen. I would like most of our members also know the same about the same, and the visitors. The question always is triggering that is money working for you, or are you working for money? And in fact, that's a very triggering question in fact for every person. So if you can just elaborate on this particular question, Mr. Prashant, that will really add value to all our members here as well as the visitors.
Sure, yeah. I have only one condition. I would ask everybody to put on their camera. It's like I'm talking to a black wall. I can't see anyone. So it would be great if people can put on their cameras. It will be
definitely,
it'll be nice. Yeah.
Sure. All the members, I would request you to turn on your cameras. That will add value. So you're going to make it as an interactive session, and it will be really easier for us to discuss and understand more better. So kindly turn on your cameras, which will be great. So yes, Mr. Prashant, I'm sure people will be doing it in a while. Great.
Yes, the reason why I asked is there was a question I wanted to ask, and this is a question I kind of start a lot of my sessions with. How many of you over here, we have currently 43 people tuned in. How many of you are from the world of finance? If you can just raise your hands.
World of finance. Okay. Yes. So that's again a tricky question, I would say. World of finance, but
and I see no hands up except Vignesh. Vignesh has put his hand up since long. I don't know, Vignesh, you want to ask any question to any one of us before we start?
Yeah, Vignesh, if you want to ask a question, we'll unmute you, or maybe we can go ahead. We'll give an option to Vignesh. Just a minute. Vignesh, do you want to ask any question? We have unmuted you, or we can proceed.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that question is, and this is where it gets, I won't say tricky, but this is where it is very basic. And that is where the whole world of finance comes to kind of bite you. We all belong to the world of finance. That is, from the time we are born, we belong to the world of finance, because to even make you drink milk, your parents would have gone and bought either a bottle to feed you or something. So from the time we are born, all of us belong to the world of finance. But as we experience currently 43, 44 people, despite being part of the finance world, they don't believe that they are part of finance world. And why I'm talking about belief is, before I come to, Prakash, what you asked, in my life has taught me that all behavior is belief driven.
Yes.
All behavior is belief driven. Believe you can, believe you can't. Either ways, you are right. Henry Ford said that. And if all of us believe we don't belong to the world of finance, our behaviors won't change. In that 26 years that I have spent working, earning, whatever you can say, one thing I have learned, making money has more to do with the mind than about making money. If you change your mindset, all of us over here, you have no idea how much wealth you can create. This is the single biggest powerful weapon that we have, our mind. But the problem is we don't value our own mind. If a financial advisor were to give me advice, I will pay him. I will value his mind, but I will not value my mind. And at the end of the day, everything in the world is very basic, simple, common sense. And I'll come to that common sense. And somewhere the question that you asked, Prakash,
yes,
therein lies the biggest difference. Do you work for money, or does money work for you?
True.
And Robert Kiyosaki had written a very interesting book called The Rich Dad, Poor Dad. very kind of takes this one step further. And he says the rich make money work for them. The poor and the middle class work for money. There was another quote which I think was of Terence Lewis, which said, very interesting, that money is a bad master, but money is a good slave. And that is what we all have to ask ourselves. Do we want money to be our master, or do we want it to be our slave? If we want it to be our slave, our money has to work for me. Why should I work for money? And to make your money work for you, believe me, it's not that difficult at all. All of us today, in some form and fashion, make our money work for us. But are we efficient enough when we make our money work for us? And the larger you make money work for you, the lesser you will have to work for money. I don't want to kind of, fool people. It will take a while before your money starts working for you in a manner that you don't have to work for money. But as Martin Luther King had said, that don't look at the entire staircase, just take the first step. If most people over here take that first step and change their mindset, that starting today, I will at least create a few slaves this year. And my slaves is my money that will work for me. There's a beautiful book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I would recommend some of you read that. And that book essentially talks about that, how you create slaves. And once you create a slave, that slave will work for you. How next year that slave will give children. The children will work for you. Essentially, he was talking about how your money works for you. He was talking about the interest that your money will make for you. So from that perspective, I think each one of us can get very wealthy. And I, in my life, have seen this very often, that most of us have a very bad habit of kind of, discussing money and mixing morality with it.
Okay.
And when I went back and I did my work, if you go back to the times of Lord Ganesha, during Diwali, what do we write on our homes? We write something called a Shubh Labh.
Shubh Labh, yes, correct.
Please translate Shubh Labh for me in Hindi, anyone, or English.
English, is it? That's a good question. Shubh Labh. So it's more about
Shubh means
Shubh
what?
is good. Labh is profit.
Profit is good.
Perfect.
Money is good. Why do we associate morality with money? Why do we look down upon people who make too much of money? Because if my mindset is not to appreciate money, I will never be able to create wealth. In my life, I've come across so many people who abuse Mukesh Ambani. Why? Just because that man has made so much of money. For me, he's an inspiration. If Mukesh Ambani can do it, I can at least attempt. In 1984, there was a movie that came, Wall Street, Michael Douglas. Some of you would have seen it. For me, Michael Douglas solved all my problems in life. Because till then, I was also moral about money. Because I had very less money. So anytime I would see somebody who had more money, I would start looking at him as a villain. But Gordon Greco solved that for me. And in that movie, he says greed is good.
Okay.
He says greed, for the want of better word, is good. And I agree with it. Greed is good. Every single invention in this world has happened because of greed. Every single invention has happened because of money. How many of you agree with me?
You can type in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. Either way, perfect.
Okay, what is it required to live a fulfilling life in today's world? Can you live today without electricity?
No.
In my view, that was the single biggest invention.
True.
Because otherwise, we had only a few hours till sunlight was there. A lot of what we can do today is not possible without electricity. Who invented electricity?
That's Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, the bulb.
Thomas Alva Edison.
That's the
Now,
bulb.
do you know he did not invent electricity, but money invented electricity.
Yes, true.
Because when he was trying to make electricity, he was failing. And he consistently failed. But to succeed at that time, in those 1800 or wherever, He actually created a company where he had investors. And there's so investors pumped in lot of money. And once Einstein was asked this question, or Edison was asked this question, that you actually, invented electricity after 10,000 attempts, not an electricity bulb. Say, aren't you ashamed of yourself? He said, no. He said, I actually discovered 9,999 ways of not to make electricity.
Not to make. True.
But for that 9,999 times that he failed, for him to succeed on the 10,000th time, somebody had to pay for that, right?
Yes, correct.
Now imagine a world where people did not make money. We would still be living in dark. So my first point is, guys, don't look down upon money. It is the single biggest relevant factor alive today. If you guys don't appreciate money, if you don't guys respect money, if you guys don't have the vision to make so much of money in your life, you will remain poor. And when I say poor, I don't mean in a negative way. You will never be able to create so much of wealth that your generations can change.
True.
Money has the power to change your generation. When I was 7 years old, I lost my dad. You have no idea how poor we were. We used to get 2 pairs of clothes to wear in a year. I was in Calcutta then. In Calcutta, we had something called as puchka, pani puri, or golgappa, whatever you call it. It's a street food.
True.
To be able to even eat street food, it used to take us 3 or 4 months of savings to go and eat street food. That time I decided, come what may, I will never be poor in my life.
Perfect. That's a good one.
I will steal, I will do robbery, I will kill, but I will not be poor. And there is a saying which says that if your why is strong, you will figure out the how. But that why has to be strong. For the why to be strong, you have to understand. When we were studying, we never had so much of money. I became a CA, etc. Studying on my own. Today, somebody introduced my daughter. She's studying in Srishti. Why? How? Because I made enough money for her to study.
True.
I want her daughter to probably study in Harvard. But for that, she has to make that kind of money.
Perfect.
So if I make enough money and I give my daughter a life and an education where she earns more than me, and she then saves and invests this money wisely, her daughter life is going to change.
Yes.
What will happen to her daughter, my great-grandchildren? Their lives will change. So if you end up making too much of money, it just does not impact or change you. It impacts and changes your generation. How many of you know what Dhirubhai used to do? What was his first job? Anyone?
Dhirubhai Ambani's first job. Okay. I give the option to others to unmute, so it'll help. People are saying it's scrap collection.
Sorry?
Scrap collection is what one person says. So
No, not scrap, but something
petrol
similar.
pump staff.
Correct. Who said? So whoever said, he was a petrol pump attendant.
Yes.
In Aden. So he used to put petrol pump in people's vehicles. He was so poor. We are still seeing his first generation Mukesh Ambani.
Correct.
Look at the wealth he's created. From Dhirubhai to Mukesh Ambani, I think the wealth has multiplied 20-50x. From Mukesh Ambani to Akash Ambani, it will further multiply. But if that man had not dreamt, would probably Mukesh Ambani be where he is? Would Akash, Isha Ambani be, Anant Ambani be where they are? No. And that is the power of money. It can change the course of your future generations. And it's very easy to make money. And for that, you answered that, Prakash, that for you to make money, your money has to work for you.
For you, true.
And the day we understand this difference, believe me, your life will change.
Excellently shared, Mr. Prashant. In fact, you are saying that the money has to work for us. And I can understand your examples of you sharing that a powerful leader work for their passion, and actually money starts working for them. And yes, definitely, if money has to work for them, there are a couple of more challenges which we are having, and that's when a few more questions have been listed from our community. When few real-time challenges are there, which they would like to ask. So I would like to invite Mr. Prashant, one of our members, Mr. Nellai Nayagan, who has a couple of questions which is we have collated on this particular topic. So may I ask Mr. Nellai to please ask the question. So Mr. Nellai, I would request you to turn on your video, and video is on. So we give you the option to ask a question to Mr. Prashant quickly now. So yes, Mr. Nellai Nayagan, go ahead, and we have spotlighted you as well. Yes, Nellai, starts. Yes, Mr. Nellai, I believe it's
Yes, sir.
audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Uh,
And
good
let's
e-
introduce Prashant to Mr. Nellai. Mr. Nellai is the quality head working at Orlicon India Private Limited, who's handling both Chennai and the Pune's location. So over to you, Nellai. Quickly go ahead, ask the next question.
Good evening, President, sir. And we are so fortunate to hear very valuable points in the managing personal finance. Yeah, we have a few questions from our leaders. The question is, we all aware about the savings which needs to be done, but it's becoming challenging to save. Maybe you know what are the few of the habits which a leader needs to start to save money, financially rich or financially poor?
True.
And as I said, yeah, this is the moot point, right? Prakash said, what is the difference between you working for money and money working for you? The money working for you is the savings that you do. And it's such a, again, it's such a big mindset change. Warren Buffett once said that if you don't figure out a way to save money, no matter how much you earn, you will figure out a way to spend that money. And let me give you a very simple example, and then I will tell a story as well. So in my office, how many of us over here think it's a challenge to save money? Let me first answer that. How many of you think it's a challenge to save money?
I would not say yes or no. I am on the mixed friends. Let me be honest.
Okay, let me put it differently. How many of you think it's a challenge to save a lot more money?
Okay, a lot more money. Okay. Yes.
So I have an office cleaning lady working in our office. She earns about 13,000, 14,000 rupees a month. Okay, she cleans. Do you think she can save money? When I asked her, she said, how can I save money? This money is just barely enough for me to even take care of my house, her commuting expenses, plus the cost of her kids' education, and basic roti kapda makan in a place like Bombay. She was struggling. So I told her, let's do one thing. You save only 10%, which is 1,500 rupees. Okay. And at the end of the month, for every 1,500 you save, I will put another 1,500. But the only promise is you can't touch this money for 5 years. Okay. So she started saving 1,500 rupees. And first month she only had 13,000 rupees left with her to spend. And at the end of the first month, she came and complained to me, sir, nahi manage ho raha hai. I said, your choice. Because you can always take a horse to the pond, you can't force it to drink water. So I said, if you want me to put that 1,500, you will have to save this. The first month she did that. Second month she did that. Third month she did that. Fourth month she came and told me, Kisan, ab farak nahi padta. Now I have 13,500. I have figured out a way to live in that 13,500. And she actually came and told me, sir, actually my lifestyle has not changed. So he said, every day when I used to come for work, I was lazy enough. So I would end up eating a vada pav, which would cost 15 rupees. He said, I wanted to save that money. So now what I do is every day I buy a piece of loaf and I just have bread butter with me and I carry. So if that lady, even at 1,500 can save 15, at 15,000 can save 1,500, believe me, all of us can save money. But it's about the mindset. Now, let me tell you the impact of what she had done. That 1,500 that she has saved and that 1,500 that I put for her, 3,000 rupees that she saved. Okay. I am now investing that money on her behalf and I'm putting it in an index fund. No complication. Okay. And I have told her, that irrespective of whether I stay in the job or she does stay in the job, doesn't matter. I will continue to do this. And she has to continue to put 1,500. Do you know how much these 3,000 rupees will become in 25 years for her? She's a cleaning lady. 43 lakh rupees.
Oh, wow. But 53. So excellent.
If you eat one less pizza a week, not much, one less pizza a week, and save that money and put it in an index fund, in 25 years, you can buy a Mercedes A-Class.
Wow. True.
That is the power of saving. Now, let me share the story that I told you I will share. Have you all heard of the saying, there is no such thing as free lunch?
Repeat again, sir.
There is no such thing as free lunch. Have you heard that story?
Free lunch. Okay. Maybe
there is no such thing as a free lunch.
Free lunch. True.
Okay. So that story has to do with 1948 in the US. So this was 1930 in the US. This is when the US was in Great Depression. So people did not have job. People were struggling, like the COVID time. And the diners, the restaurants over there are called diners. And one of the diners came up with a very interesting plan. So he said, buy 2 beers, get lunch free. Buy 2 beers, get lunch free. Because his restaurant was struggling. So lunchtime, there was a long queue of people wanting to go and eat lunch. He obviously increased the price of the beer a little bit, but he was giving you free lunch. So everybody sat inside the restaurant. And suddenly they started seeing that instead of having 2 beers, on average, people had 6 to 8 beers. So what the restaurant guy had done is, in that entire extra food, he had put extra salt and extra spice. So the food had become saltier and it had become spicier. And how do you quench that? You start drinking more beer. From that, this term came. There is no such thing as free lunch. And that is what applies to us. If my cleaning lady wanted a better life for her family, she had to save 1,500 rupees.
True.
For that, she had to compromise her current lifestyle. If she does not do that, her second generation life will not change. There is no such thing as free lunch.
True.
So for everybody asking, how do I save money? I have a very simple formula. First, tell me how much money you want to make. Let's say you have 100 rupees today. You set your goal, how much money you want to make over 20-25 years.
True.
Okay. Once you decide this is the money that you want to make, the formula is very simple. You have only 3 things to play. Either you increase that 100 which you have today, or instead of 25 years, you give yourself 50 years to make that same amount of money. So either you increase your saving or increase your time.
Okay.
And third, increase your risk.
Okay.
So
that's a good point.
The moment you increase your risk, the chances are you will lose money. If you increase your time, by the time you end up creating wealth, you will die.
True.
So what do? You try to first increase this 100. So whatever that increase is, this is what I would recommend people should do. And we have a lot of professionals, we have a lot of people who are in business. The moment your check hits your bank, and I'm talking of your net salary.
True.
Save 30% of it. And automate your savings. Now what are you left with? 70%. Enjoy your life. But in that 70%, you only enjoy the life that 70% can give you. For some of you, that 70% may be enough. For some of you, it may not be.
Not be enough.
For
True.
those it is not enough, think of my cleaning lady. If she can manage in 13,500, you can very well manage in that 70%. And ask yourself, why are you doing that? She is doing that because when after 25 years, when she will see 40-45 lakhs in her bank account, she knows that money has a life-changing consequence for her family.
True.
So if your why is strong enough, you will figure out the how. And this is one, how to save more is this. First save, then spend. Most people first spend and then whatever little is left, they save. No,
This is true.
absolutely wrong way to do things in life. First save, then spend. How much you save, I will not say, depending on what your goal is.
Perfect. Great, great. That's an excellent, answer. First, save whatever you get. I'm sure most of our people who are here all are working professionals and consultant business people. Easily, they are closer to getting close to around a lakh a month. I'm sure that's how, or maybe 80,000 plus is what they'll be getting. But just imagine all the members as well as the visitors here for the first time. Just imagine 30% first save, then spend. That's an excellent way to share it.
So
Save
Prakash,
first
so
and
Prakash,
then
let me
Yes.
let me dangle the carrot in front of people. If you say average, the people listening to us are making a lakh a month, and if you save 30%, which is 30,000 a month,
Yes.
and you do nothing but invest this money in an index fund,
Uh,
do you know after 25 years what that money will be?
okay. 25 years. 50 crores.
5 crores.
5 crores. Okay, wow. That's great.
Do you know that 5 crores, if you even don't take risk, how much interest will it earn for you? 30 lakh rupees
30
year.
lakh rupees, the interest alone.
a year. You will earn 2.5 times of what you are earning after 25 years. Why? Because if you have sent your money to work for you,
Wow.
that 30,000 slaves will create 5 crores for you. And that 5 crores, you are not losing that 5 crores. That is still your saving. But the interest that you make on that 5 crores will be 2.5 times the money that you are making today. But it doesn't come free. It
True,
comes with a
true.
concept called delayed gratification. You are sacrificing some enjoyment today for a much better life tomorrow.
True. That's really nicely shared. So, in fact, even that index fund you're sharing. So, maybe Prashant, we have one more question. So, now one side is saving. So, maybe I would request Mr. Nalai to ask the next question about how one side we save is one we are able to understand, but where do we invest? Now, there are people who want to invest. So, how do they invest? So, Nalai, please go ahead with the question, Nalai, which one of our members asked.
Sir, it's a truly inspirational story. Yeah, we have one more question from our leaders.
True.
Yeah, the question is, maybe know what are the different investment options and how money work for us?
So if I start getting into the details of investment options, probably 45 minutes is not enough. Maybe 45 days are not
True.
enough. But
I agree.
but I want to change the mindset.
Yes.
There are only two kinds of investment opportunities. Only two. And it has to do with your mindset. Either you have an owner mindset or you have a loaner mindset. Either you have an ownership mindset or a loaner mindset. Okay. What happens and what is the difference between the two? When you have a loaner mindset, what do you essentially do? You are loaning your savings to someone. Okay. When you loan something to someone, you want that what you have loaned back. So if I were to loan Prakash 1 lakh rupees, I want that 1 lakh rupees back. So my criteria is to get the money back.
Yes.
Capital protection. But what I have done is I have lent you the money. So my mindset is that of a loaner. All I am expecting is give my money back and give me an interest on that.
True.
Being a little bit filmy, खुदा गवाह है, खुदा गवाह है, with a loner mindset, nobody has ever got rich.
True.
You cannot get rich having a loner mindset. Do you know how much money of Indians is sitting in savings bank deposit today? 45 lakh crores. That is earning them 3% interest.
Oh.
After that, Narendra Modi charges tax on that. So you get 2% interest. So if you have 1 lakh rupees in your savings bank account, how much interest will you get every month? 150 rupees. We will not even sell you a burger for 150 rupees. And then we all cry that we are not rich. So when you bring a loner's mindset, you essentially put money to get the money back. And because you want to get your money back,
True.
because you don't want to take risk, what you earn is a very small amount of money. That money will never make you rich. The second investment option is what I call as the owner's mindset. When you bring the owner's mindset onto the table, you are not loaning money. Let's say you go and buy 1 share of Reliance. You are an owner of Reliance Industry to the extent of 1 share, which means you are also taking the same risk Mukesh Ambani is taking. He may be taking over a large number of shares, you are taking over 1 share. Which means there is a chance you may lose money. But if Reliance Industries makes profits, you also get your share of that profit for that 1 rupee, 1 share that you are owning. So when you bring a ownership mindset, you are taking higher risk, but in return, you are getting higher rewards.
Very nice.
So when you talk of investing option, there is a very simple formula. 100 minus your age. That is the minimum amount you should put in ownership mindset. So if somebody's age is 40,
Yes.
100 minus 40, 60% of their savings should be in owner's mindset. So what are examples of owner's mindset? Stocks, gold, real estate.
Perfect.
Balance 40, you can put it in a loaner mindset, no problem.
Somebody
who's 75 years, he should put only 25% of his wealth in owner's mindset, 75% in loaner's mindset. But the problem in our country is the following, right? Everybody wants to be Mukesh Ambani, but nobody wants to take the risk of Mukesh Ambani.
True.
When we look at our neighbor who's very wealthy, we want to be like our neighbor who's very wealthy, but we don't want to take the risk that he has taken.
Very much.
And that is wrong.
True.
There is only one universal truth in the world of finance. That is risk and reward. Risk and reward are both two straight lines of a ladder or of a rail track. To earn higher return, you must take higher risk. When you give your money in savings deposit, you're not taking any risk. So why will the bank give you return? From savings, you get to fixed deposit, you take little higher risk, you get little higher return.
True.
Then comes corporate deposit. Then comes gold. Then comes home. Then comes stock market. But this is the magic of stock markets. I am a massive believer of stock markets because stock market has created wealth for me. And I'll tell you why. How many of you, okay, rather than asking a question, because most of you guys are not showing your face, I'll just tell you. A lot of you people feel stock market is risky, right? Everybody feels in India, stock market risky. It
That's
is
the
not
reality.
risky at all.
Mm.
The chances of you losing money if you invest in a stock market with a 1 year view, the chances of you losing money is 50%.
Wow. Mm.
The chances of you losing money in a stock market in 5 years is 20%.
Mm.
The chances of you losing money in a stock market in 10-year period is 10%. The chances of you losing money in stock market over a 20-year period is 0%.
Wow. Mm.
The longer you remain invested in a stock market, your risk comes down
Wow.
and your wealth creation keeps going up.
Super.
But most people get into stock market because they think it's a casino.
Mm. True.
I enter stock market because my expectation of return is very bad. I want to make 20, 30, 40, 50% return.
Immediately.
No matter anybody says, including Prashant Desai,
True.
if savings bank deposit is 3% and somebody says stock will be 50%, that is the risk you are taking, my friend. You, in today's bull market, you will receive calls from your broker, from your friends. मैं बोलता हूँ ना, जी ले ले, जी एंटरटेनमेंट राकेश झुंझुनवाला ने लिया है, श्योर शॉर्ट 50% बढ़ेगा, doesn't matter sure short.
True.
If it is 50% return in 3 months, annualized return is 200%. Your savings bank gives you 3%. 200% is, my screen cannot capture it. That's the risk you are taking.
True.
So your investment options are plenty, but always think of investing option as a thali.
Correct.
A lot of people get confused there. They either think high risk or low risk, high return or low return. This is not a binary multiple. This is not a binary game. Investing is like a thali that you eat at your house when you go in a hotel buffet and go with 5 friends on a hotel buffet. See everybody's thali. Everybody's thali will be different.
True.
So you build your investment thali based on your risk appetite.
Rightly said.
If you are a very high risk taker, my thali has 100% stocks.
True.
My own brother, who's 5 years elder to me, his risk averse. His portfolio has only 30% stocks.
True. True.
Okay. Everybody's risk appetite is different. But the problem is my brother never compares himself with me. But we over here, all of us will compare our wealth with somebody else who is more wealthy. We will not compare our risk appetite.
True.
So yeah, I think that's important in my view, Prakash. Everybody understands risk and reward and also understands the fact that Khuda gawah hai, nobody in this world has become rich by putting their money in savings deposit and fixed deposit.
True.
There was this very famous series that I would encourage all of you to see. It's the most watched series now, called Scam 1992, the Arshad Mehta story. And the punchline of that series says it all. Risk hai, to ishq hai.
Wow. That's nice. Good.
In my life, I have learned the biggest risk is not taking any risk. You have one life. Why not take some risk which has the chance of not just changing your life, but your generation's life?
Right. True.
How difficult can it be when you know if you remain committed to stock market over a 20-year period, do SIP, the chances of you losing money is 0. Still, we give money to savings bank deposit at 3%.
True.
And then we complain we are not rich. If you are sending your money to work for you, at least send them to a place where they earn decent money for you.
True. So let's ask Prashant. Wonderful insights you have been given and really sharing a lot of insights. So Nilay, do we have one more question from the members, or we'll have an open question?
Yeah, I have one more question on this.
Maybe we'll take it. We have an open question that will help this one. Time is also getting prolonged, but nevertheless. So maybe all the members as well as the visitors, What do you all feel now that Prashant has spoken about all these aspects? I'm sure we all have been getting our salaries. So let me ask this particular question. Type your answers in the chat box. How many of us are really investing in shares? That's what he's saying. Let's start getting the ownership mindset. And if you're already investing in the shares, type me in the chat box. Quickly, type me in the chat box who all are. Or if people aren't, type will be in the chat box. If you have yet to start investing, type will be in the chat box so that we understand. Definitely, yes, there are a lot many more people are there. If you could see, more are me's, less than will be's are coming up, and I'm sure members, let's see how better can we start. There's a start for every person, and maybe let's, from Prashant Desai's inputs what you've received today, that today can be a start for us, need more clarity. So Mr. Prashant, it's, through this episode, we like to ask questions or ask a quiz question to our members here. Can we take with your permission, Mr. Prashant?
Please, yeah.
So for asking one quick quiz question, and then members, after the quiz question, we have an open questions to Mr. Prashant. But Prashant, I understand time is less, but is that okay? A couple of maybe two more questions from our members. Is it okay? Open questions? Will that
I have enough time. I have enough time. Up to you guys.
Great. Thanks very much. So maybe a first quiz question from Mr. Mangesh. Mangesh is from Rohtak, India, from Mumbai. And Mangesh, over to you for asking the quiz question. Quick, go ahead, Mangesh.
Yeah. Thanks, Prakash. And thank you very much, Prashant, sir, for your very much energetic explanation of the personal financing and tips for that. It's a very energetic session that we had from your side, which was packed with practical examples and good reading examples, and more importantly, the values of the wealth creation by penny steps, small things. Thanks for that.
Great.
Really, because all the particular example of personal my example, at my age, the beginning of investment starts when at the age of 35 or 40. And that's you highlighted. Thanks for that. And to all audience, the quiz question for today from the great session of Mr. Prashant Desai. The question is, name the book has been referred by Mr. Prashant during his first question to Prakash Sharma. Name the book.
Oh, are we getting the answers? There's The Richest Man in the Babylon, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Name the book. So which is the book? So there are many people are answering as Rich Dad and Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon. So these are the two options which is coming up. So Mangesh, which is the right answer?
Yes, the right answer is Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Wow, great. So who has got the right answer?
It's Varsha.
Wow, good. So members, type
I
congrats
request
to Varsha.
all teammates and the participants to type congratulations to Varsha for the quick and precise answer.
Yes. So all can type congratulations, Varsha. Varsha, I understand you are so very interested in getting week after week surprises. But yes, so this time what I will ensure is, if you are not yet received the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's my responsibility. I'll buy you a book through Amazon. This particular book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, an excellent and amazing book which you need to read, Varsha. So great. So thanks very much, Mangesh, for asking that. And all the members, if you're really yet to read these two books, are wonderful books. I would suggest all the members to buy in as well. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which gives an art of most of the aspects of this money management. So thanks very much, Mangesh, for asking that particular question. And now all the members, it's now the open quiz, open time for asking questions to Mr. Prashant. If you have real-time challenges, I'm sure maybe now the mindset, how we need to operate is what Mr. Prashant has told to us. But if you still have a question to ask to Mr. Prashant, the two ways of asking: one, raise your hand and we'll give an option for you to unmute yourself and ask a question, or two, kindly type your question in the chat box and then we'll go ahead. So we have both the options come up. So first we'll give an option to Mr. Sendil Kumar who would like to ask the question. So who's raised the hand? So yes, Mr. Sendil, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Prakash, and thank you very much, Prashant Desai, really, your message was really Godfather for me, Prashant. So I shall never
Thank you.
forget it. I forget it. The only challenge what I face is, unfortunately, I am staying in India. I am surviving with the income what I get. But in India, what I experience today is, if you're asking me to make 30% to do a saving, and 30% I pay for government income tax, and your 30% I need to spend for my loan, EMI loan. Then remaining 10% I need to spend at least for my unpredicted expenses, which I really don't know. Like it may be hospital expense, or it may be some education expense, or it may be something. No one
So
knows.
if you are spending 30% of your money on EMI, I don't know what asset are you building that you are spending 30% of your money, right? So is it for your home, Mr. Senthil Kumar, to ask?
Yes, yes.
So then it's okay, right? So for me, that 30% if you are giving as EMI for your home, you are already building an asset for yourself. So I am not asking you to further save on that 30%.
Okay.
Also, one clarification, Senthil, good that you asked me that. When I say save 30%, I am not asking you to save 30% of 100. I am asking you to save 30% of the 70. For me, the income tax that you pay, your income is not your gross income, it's your income after tax.
True.
So guys, our problem is because we keep changing jobs. Somebody asks, what is your salary? We always like to quote the CTC.
Correct.
And CTC is not our salary.
Okay.
Correct. True.
CTC minus the tax is what we get. That's
Correct.
first point, Senthil. Second, I don't know what your salary is. I don't want to know. But from that, you are also your employer both would be putting some money in Provident Fund.
Yeah, correct.
That Provident Fund also is part of that 30% saving I want you to do.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you technically see, if you are paying 30% as EMI,
Mhm.
and my sense is you will be putting at least 5-7% of your net as Provident Fund.
Mhm.
You are already saving 35%, my friend.
Mhm.
The now question is, so when you are building up the home, right,
Mhm.
it's going to be tough to save more. But
Mhm.
even if you can carve out another 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees by curbing your expenditure,
Mhm.
that 10-15,000 over a 25-year period can be about 1.5-2 crore of rupees. My sense is your home will be at least 5x in value to your total cost of home in 25 years today.
Okay.
So when you look at your wealth after 25 years,
Mhm.
the value of your home will be whatever it is today multiplied by 5x or even 8x. I don't know where you live, what the prices are, but generally it will be in that range.
Mhm.
Plus your Provident Fund will be a very large amount. The reason is the money that is going into Provident Fund is compounding at 7.1% today. And that is tax free.
Mhm.
On top of that, if you can save something more, great for you. If you don't, you are still in good hand.
Okay.
So the
But-
clarification is, when I was said 30% first, that 30% is of the net, and that 30% includes EMI if it is for home. If it is for car, it doesn't count.
Okay. One
If it is
question.
for jewelry, it counts. Yeah, please go ahead. Senthil.
Yeah. What happened? I'm just sharing the lessons what I experienced. In 2007, I had a property in Hyderabad, but by coincidence, bad fortune touched in my life, where the Mayenda's property and real estate business drastically came down. When Satyam was being sued. So the 80 lakhs worth of property drastically came down to 52 lakhs, 53 lakhs. It took me almost 8 months to come down, to come out from that shock or come out from that impact. That person in real estate would never go in loss. But I have faced a situation where my money got drastically burned to rock bottom.
No, it is fair, but if you would have remained invested, probably the value of that property today would be very different, right?
True.
Yeah, but it was during the downturn time where the job market also was being lost. I felt very difficult to pay my EMI also during the time.
And which is what I tell people, that your EMI cannot be more than 30% of your net salary.
Okay.
That's a good point.
because then you won't face the problem. If your EMI is 60-70% of your salary, then God help you.
Yeah, then I
And
understand. I made that
these are the
mistake.
small changes that we need to make, right?
Yeah.
And if you are able to do that, but you are in good shape, Senthil.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me the rule, Prashant. Thanks for giving this golden rule. I was not knowing it in
No, it's
2005. 30% should be the loan EMI. It was 60% of my EMI. Believe me, it was 60% of my EMI what I am paying in my home loan,
Yes.
and which money I could not able to balance it.
Perfect, Senthil. Wonderful. So I'm sure Senthil definitely will get more opportunities to definitely discuss. Thanks very much. And Mr. Prashant Senthil is from Daimler India, and he works in the L&D department. Thanks very much, Senthil, for asking the quick question. Mr. Prashant, one more question we have in the chat box where Mr. Nitish Kokal asks, how do we, how would we ownership, okay, that means I believe he's asking about the ownership mindset which you spoke about. Shares different from investing in equity and mutual fund.
It's the same. It's the same.
The same.
So yeah, when your ultimate money goes in buying shares, you are putting the ownership mindset to this.
Correct.
So from that perspective, that's actually taking risk when you invest in mutual fund. And my recommendation to everybody, this is what I learned from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, that investing is not a part-time job; it's a full-time profession. So if you are not a full-time investing professional into equity markets, please look at mutual funds and do an SIP. That's the best way. And when you do an SIP in a mutual fund, you are trusting professionals to take decisions for you. And over a longer period of time, they will deliver the returns. And from that perspective, it's the same thing. You are taking an ownership mindset.
Great. That's an excellent answer. I would say the SIP through mutual funds, which is much more safer also. And definitely that will give us an ownership mindset. Wonderful, Prashant. Super. So there are, if any other participants, if you have, or the members, if you have any still more questions, I understand time is pressing for us. Mr. Prashant Desai is available, but still, as our, in our community, we always follow this particular timelines. But still, if you have any questions, I'm sure maybe we'll ask those questions separately to Mr. Prashant. And with these options, I would request maybe a quick summary of what all we have discussed, and we'll take it forward. But all the members, and I'm sure you all might have got real-time learnings. And if you feel that you've got some key real-time learnings, type Y in the chat box. That means yes on the chat box. Certain real-time learnings where you at least got trigger, I need to act. If you feel that you've got, type Y or yes on the chat box. And that's the impact where Prashant Desai has done for you all. Thanks very much, Prashant Desai, for doing it. So let me take a quick privilege of summarizing what we have understood from you all, and then we will end the session with certain thanking videos and the next week's discussion. So it'll take another couple of more minutes alone. So for quickly, maybe I would request Senthil quickly, maybe since you've been there and active, remember, quickly go ahead and summarize all the quick points, the bullet points, so it helps a lot for all the participants who have joined us. Yes, Mr. Senthil. Unmuted, stats.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prakasha. For the benefit of time, I would like to sum up only the 5 key takeaways of today's session. Point number one, the money is nothing but the mindset, as quoted by the Martin Luther King as well as from Robert Kiyosaki, how the money works for the rich and poor and middle class people work for the money. And second message is, higher the risk, higher the reward, more would be the return. So nice. This was well said from today's session from Prashant Desai. Greed is good. Larger you work for money, money will start working for you. This was one of the key message, and he has cited this with a real classical evidence example of 1,500 rupees money which was saved by a colleague in his company, and where he was able to contribute 1,500. It means 3,000 rupees, which making a huge fund of amount 43 lakhs through index fund. So this was a very good thumb rule shared from Prashant Desai, and there is no free lunch. There is no free lunch. And the motto or the behind this drive is adding more salt and more spicy to make the people quench for more beer. That's where the money start working for people. This was one of the strategic approach, how to melt money, And fourth point is, there are 2 types of mindset. One is the owner mindset and the loaner mindset. Loaner
Yes.
mindset will keep lending money, and there is a less chance of making money, whereas the owner mindset has a equal opportunity, equal privilege, like a sponsor or like a real investor who takes same risk for his company or for the shares. And the fifth point, what I would like to bring here is Kuda Gawah Hai. Kuda Gawah.
Khuda gawah hai. Yes, yes.
Kuda Gawah Hai. Kuda Gawah Hai. So this
Good.
was one of the real message what I would like to take it forward from this Godfather. Prashant
Great.
Desai is ultimate Godfather for me, because
Wow.
this finance you would never learn in any school. No school teach
Yes.
this. In our school life, none of them have an opportunity to learn about money except from father. If father is a
Yes.
miser, father will teach us this.
Good,
And I'm
good.
really appreciating you. You never had the chance to experience your father's journey. You started everything independently by carving yourself, by evolving yourself. Really great.
Thank you, Senthil. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Senthil. That's an awesome quick recap for us, or summary for us. I'm sure members with all will help us. Let's move ahead and always ensure to go back to demonstrate. So let's have a quick thanking. Let's all thank our vote of thanks. I would request Mr. Selvaraj David to please go ahead for the same. Yes, Mr. Selvaraj David, over to you. And we've unmuted.
Thank you so much, Prakash Sharma, for unmuting me. For the past year and a half, I'm at home and I'm always on mute from my entire family members, including my grandson. I feel so nice that I can talk now a little bit. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Desai, and for being with us this evening, and for all your excellent insights that you've given. It's wonderful to know how such a small savings can end up in a big boon after a couple of years. Many of us don't realize that. And what I actually liked is you said that money is a bad master, but a good slave.
Yes.
I draw a parallel because being from the facilities background, whenever we train these officers on safety and security, we always tell them that fire or a matchstick is a good slave, but a bad master. If it goes out of control, then everything goes out of control. It's really wonderful, actually, what you said, and really thank you for that. And gentlemen, before I share about the next week leader, let me quickly share again the purpose of our community, the community where we are in now. Leaders Connect is an online leadership community where every week on Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. Well, today we have crossed the threshold of 7:15 p.m., but it was interesting anyway. We invite a top management leader from a reputed corporate, from a reputed company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenges. It could be either on leading ourselves, could be leading others, or leading our own business, like how Mr. Prashant Desai explained to us today. This Leaders Connect online leadership community does not stop in sharing the solutions alone every week, but we also have a reflection episode to track the learning and convert it to an action plan on the last Wednesday of every month. That's when we call it as leaders, creating more leaders. If you wish to join a community, please click on the WhatsApp group link, which is on your chat box, and you will be able on the number shared on the WhatsApp, and then we will add you in our community. We believe and trust in the potential of every human being who can constantly grow. But the growth is within oneself as how and with whom you spend your time. For the members, do remember to write your learning and action plan on your respective login credentials shared with you. So now I'm happy to share that next week we have our Reflections 9.0, where we can network, we can share our learnings, and we can share our action plans. Remember, we all learn, but when learning has a structure to demonstrate, that's when we will make a difference. So let's start making a difference by registering for the next reflection episode. Every member who have even attended any one episode of the Leaders Connect can also be a part of our reflection episode. I would like to thank Mr. Prashant Desai once again for his time, for his impactful ideas. Really, it helped us. Many of us don't think in those lines. I still remember my dad, when I was 10 years old, he told me, don't put your eggs, all your eggs in one basket. And I followed it, sir, during my 35 years of corporate life, and it really helped me. Meet mutual funds, SIPs, equities, real estate, stocks. Everywhere I put little chunks, and I'm thankful. It all really helped me, what you actually told me.
Yes.
And thank you, sir. May I request every participant to applaud our speaker for the day by typing clap in the chat box for his excellent inputs for us. And now we have a thanking video for all of us, and request you to stay back and enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
sir, once again.
So Manish, over to you. Quickly play the thanking video. Great. So that's awesome. And thanks very much, Selvaraj Javed. That's really been great. Thanks very much, Mr. Prashant Desai, for your excellent time which you've taken to create more leaders here. And I'm sure that will really add value to us, to all of these members who have been here. And members, do remember, very necessary, as we told, please do log in and share your learnings in the upcoming week that will add value to us. So that's it. Thanks very much, Mr. Prashant, a lot. And any one last message you want to share before we leave, Mr. Prashant, to all our members here, as we all are. Anyone?
Make lots of money. Make lots of money.
Perfect. That's great. Okay. So thanks very much, Prashant. We will stay in touch, and we will share your link again on about your LinkedIn link to all our members, that they'll feel free to connect with you again. So Pankaj, please share the LinkedIn link again on the chat box and as well as on our group, so that they can stay connected with Mr. Prashant. Thank you very much. And meet you all.
Only 2 minutes.
So members, if you feel that you want to have a networking session now and you want to have any questions which you want to ask, now is the time where we'll be all open to ask any questions. Or if you want to discuss any points also, now we can have a quick networking amongst all our people now. So if any questions you want to talk any, please go ahead and discuss. Or if there's no questions, none to discuss, then we stop. So good. So thanks very much. I would like to thank all the members today who have made a great, a wonderful impact. Thanks Mangesh, thanks Aarti, thanks David, and thanks Nilay. That's really been awesome.